Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Let's Talk, the series where this is your friendly neighborhood Birdman, and today we're talking F1. The owner of a struggling Formula One team reaches out to an old friend and former F1 driver to help bring his team from the brink of being sold. Sonny Hayes, a veteran race car driver, arrives in the second half of the season to show everyone, including a young hotshot, that this old dog still has some new tricks. I love this movie. As many of you know, I'm a huge car guy and I follow the latest news when it comes to cars, but I'm a little embarrassed to say that I'm not exactly a fan of motorsports, and that includes F1. I'm very much a driving experience kind of guy, and I don't really enjoy watching car races. Legal ones, anyway. But I have to say, after watching this movie, I think I might have to catch a few Formula One races. Brad Pitt is, unsurprisingly, doing a killer job as Sonny Hayes, a former Formula One driver that had his F1 career cut short by a horrific accident. He plays a character that races for the love of the game rather than glory or money. Brad has always been great at playing these cowboy sort of characters, and this film is no different. I noticed he was a little more grizzled than usual, probably to play up his veteran status, but even his voice was a little on the raspy side, almost like his character from Inglourious Basterds. Sonny is a bit of a prick, but in a you can't help but love him kind of way. Javier Bardem and Damson Idris play supporting roles as the team owner and team racing lead Joshua Pierce, respectively. Both of these guys are great as well, with special mention to Damson, who has been killing it ever since Snowfall. Idris's character is the young hotshot that hasn't been able to place in the top 10, but clearly has talent. What I liked most about his character is that the film shows you not only the glamorous side of being a world-famous race car driver, but the grueling training sessions these athletes undergo through him. Most people think you can just get in a car and drive, but F1 drivers are some of the most skilled and trained human beings on the planet, and I enjoyed the film showing that side of the sport. The cinematography in this film is very likely going to win some kind of nomination come award season. It is spectacular. I'm keenly aware of the cost of going to the movies, so I know that it's not cheap at all. However, if you're going to watch this movie, I implore you to see it on the biggest screen you can with the best sound system you can find, because otherwise you are doing yourself a disservice and wasting your money on a lesser experience. I don't know how they did it, but this film is Top Gun Maverick level with the camera work on the cars, and it makes me lean towards they did this for real. That type of dedication and craftsmanship should not go to waste in some rinky-dink theater with a weak sound system. This film is relentless. The racing had my heart pounding, and I was actually gripping my armrest without realizing. The race scenes are long and dense, packed with information about how F1 works and how it's not just the driver, but the team that makes everything work. It's truly a love letter to the sport, and I'd imagine real F1 fans loving every moment. My favorite moments in particular were the pit scenes, where I found myself fist pumping for them every time they got through a pit without making a mistake. And I think that's where this film really shines. You learn that it takes everyone to win a race, from the engineers doing research in the wind tunnel that allows for modifications to help in the corners, to the milliseconds that your pit team can save you, which can ultimately determine the outcome. Another aspect of the film I loved was its realism. Sonny doesn't just come in and they start winning. No, these guys get their asses kicked because F1 is the pinnacle of motorsport, and those other racers ain't out there because they're bad at their jobs. So Sonny and Pierce have to truly work with one another just to scrape together 10th place finishes. They have to use every trick in the book, like forcing the safety car to come out to allow their teammate an opportunity to catch up, and skipping pit stops to fight for every second. And it's this realism that separates this film from other racing films, because you truly do not know what the outcome of each race will be, and you are left feeling like you're watching a real race. I only have one real negative, and it's a very subjective one. This movie is really long, At 2 hours and 36 minutes, you may begin to feel exhausted with the heart-pounding race sequences. As I mentioned, they are long, and there are 9 races the film has to go through narratively. And of course, they don't show every lap, but there are still 9 races the film has to go through narratively, so some viewers may find themselves fidgeting in their seats. But if you're watching this film, this is what you paid for, and in that respect, the film truly delivers. I had a brilliant time with this flick. Movies like these remind us why film is important, not only for the art and entertainment, but because it allows us to broaden our horizons and learn about aspects of the world we may not have been privy to. If you can only see one film this weekend, and there are some pretty decent options in Megan 2 and 28 Years Later, F1 more than earns the price of admission. NA.